With a deadline to raise the U.S. debt ceiling less than 2 weeks away and the threat of a default with global implications looming.
Mr. President, how concerned are you about the debt talks at home?
Not at all.
On the sidelines of the G7 summit, President Joe Biden sought to reassure allies.
I still believe we'll be able to avoid a default and we'll get something decent done.
Until recently, Congress has raised the debt ceiling without much fuss. Think of it like the U.S. government increasing the limit on its credit card so the bills can continue to be paid on time. Now House Republicans are demanding spending cuts and a rollback of some of Biden's agenda in exchange for their votes to allow more borrowing. If no deal between the White House and House Republicans is reached before the June 1st deadline, the U.S. risks running out of cash.
The stakes could not be higher. A default would plunge our economy into recession. Economists estimate that millions of Americans could lose their jobs. Hardworking families could lose their retirement savings,
potentially sparking a global financial crisis.
It is definitely a subject of interest here at the G7. Countries want to have a sense of how these negotiations are going to play out, and the president has expressed confidence that he believes that we can drive to an outcome where we do avoid default.
A group of progressive lawmakers has sent a letter urging Biden to avoid caving to Republican demands by invoking the 14th Amendment, which clearly states the validity of the public debt shall not be questioned, they wrote. It's a move the White House considers risky. Washington has never defaulted on its debt before, so there's no playbook on what would happen if it did. But if history is any indication, resolutions are almost always reached at the 11th hour. For CityNews, I'm Caryn Ceolin.